Hello class, I'm creating this video to help with problems number 10 and 12 from the practice exam from module 4. So it looks like we're asked to draw a scatter diagram and then compute the correlation coefficient and then comment on a relationship that may exist between x and y. So here's my data. I want to open this up in StatCrunch and I want to press stat. We want to do regression, simple linear regression. X variable will be called x, y variable will be y, and I press compute. And we have some information here. Let's see if I can just blow this up a little bit. Oops, just lost it. Here we go. And you notice there's an arrow here. If I press this, I can see a scatter plot. So notice my first dot is somewhere above 2, and then it looks like my second dot is higher, and then I have 2 dots that are kind of lined up vertically. So let's see if we can see a graph that looks like that. So this looks like, right, my first dot could be at 2, then my second one's higher, and then there were the 2 vertical dots, right? Again, first dot, second dot, 2 vertical. So I'm going to say my scatter plot is letter C. Then it asks for the correlation coefficient. Well, StatCrunch will provide that also. I remember I pressed this right arrow to get to my graph, but if I press the left arrow, this is where I originally was taken. Right? So to go back and forth between the graphs, I can just click these arrows. And if you look, R, my correlation coefficient is this 0.9508. So I should round that to 0.9509 maybe. Actually, I'm sorry, it says go 3 decimal places, so I'll write 0.951. Let's put that in here, 0.951. So we round 3 decimal places. And since this number is kind of close to 1 and positive, the correlation coefficient is close to 1, so a positive linear relation exists between x and y. Check my answer, boom, there's my 100%. Let's jump to problem number 12. I think 12 is similar. We have to come up with a correlation coefficient and a scatter diagram. So it looks like they give us 4 sets of data. I'm not going to do all 4 sets. I'll just do 1 set. So if I click on the table to see my data, you see what I'm talking about? You have to go through this exercise 4 times. Once with data set 1, data 2, data 3, data 4. So we open this up in StatCrunch. And here's all my data. Again, I'm only going to use data set 1, so I'm going to use x1 and y1. If you want to look at data set 3 or 4, you would use x3, y3, or x4, y4. So I go stat, regression, simple linear. We'll use x1 and y1 because that's data set 1. Again, if I wanted data set 4 or 3, I could go to the appropriate variables. I press compute, and my correlation coefficient for the first data set is negative, right? So I'm going to put this in. It says round to 3 decimal places. So I would truncate a little bit, 0.816, and it's negative. And then if I wanted to see what the scatter diagram looked like, I go back to my StatCrunch. I press the arrow key, and here's my scatter plot, right? So if I want the scatter plot, you press the right arrow. To get back to the correlation coefficient, the slope, the intercept, all that data is right here, okay? And you'd have to do this 4 times, for each of the data sets, and then you'd have to check to find the graph that matches your data set, okay? I hope that helps. Thank you for watching.